How y'all doing? This is Biko Paris, head coach, John Curtis Christian High School, and you're tapped in now with FanvVew Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the FanView Podcast, man. It's your host, your boy G-Sportz, man. I got a good friend in the building, man. Coach Biko Harris, the head basketball coach at John Curtis High School down here in New Orleans. Uh, Appreciate you coming on the podcast, Coach Dog. I've been wanting to get you on, man. Uh, I know it's good to be back home
For sure.
after being away for over a decade.
Yeah.
Coaching college basketball, playing college basketball, and touching a little bit overseas. But um, we always like to start our podcast off, man, talking about your journey, man. I remember, when you came out in 2007. That's close to my era because I came out in 2003. But I remember reading about you, hearing about you. I was able to catch a couple games when you was at Curtis before you left, and I love the pace that you played with. Your presence on the court, on the way you control the pace of the game, and how you kind of put John Curtis basketball on the map back then. Uh, but kind of bring us back, man. I know we up in years a little bit, but kind of bring us back
for sure.
to that journey, man. How you became Biko Paris, and everybody know that's a basketball head, basketball historian. You know who Biko Paris is, definitely in the city.
Right. I first of all, man, I appreciate you guys. You guys having me and welcoming me to you guys' set and inviting me into you guys' house. So I appreciate that
Definitely.
from the bottom of my heart. But yeah, man, born and raised in New Orleans East. Just I grew up playing sports. I was in it. Um, I you can say I had a choice, didn't have a choice, but man, I grew up with the ball in my hands, and I just that's what I knew. I played, and I was a two-sport kid. I played football, I played basketball growing up. Um, Ironically, believe it or not, um, third grade, football is what got me to John Curtis. They thought I was a good football player,
Right.
and I was decent at football. Playing in the parks in Goretti, and I played all the way growing up, and I played for Goretti, and that's where they kind of saw me at, playing in the parks. But I basketball was always like that was my
King.
passion, and that's what being honest, that's what I was really good at, right? That's what I was good at. So they find me. I go to Curtis since third grade, and then I take off. So I'm there in third grade. I'm playing football and I'm playing basketball. I'm playing both sports, right? And as I'm getting up in age, fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, I think they start to see it.
Yeah.
Like man, like they moved me from running back to defensive end and then tight end, right? Different things. Um, and I thought they started to see it, right? They start like, man, this he might be he's a basketball guy, and it never was known for like other before me. The guy I heard of was Ben Benfield, who was a great player at Curtis and in that Tulane. Much respect to him. Um, but they had never really seen at least not recently when I was coming in.
I,
Like
I know
a good
when I was
basketball
coming up,
player.
I never heard of anybody
Right,
being a really good basketball at John Curtis till
right,
you came along.
right. So fast forward a little bit, I'm playing, both sports, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all the way up to ninth grade. Ninth grade, I go out, I'm playing AAU. And this is when nationals and the showcase in Orlando, Florida, it was a big deal, right? Winning your region or your state, whatever you call it, to get to go to nationals was always huge, right? Um, and I'm playing out there. I come back from that. I go to school. I go to the basketball office. Coach K is my coach, Coach Kreitcher. Um, it's shoe boxes filled with mail. Back in the day, when you would get recruited, it's a little different now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But back in '03, '04, '05, '06, '07, right? These years, and maybe before that, you would get mail to your house. Like that you had to open. And as you go through it, you start to see if you open it and it's real writing, like a
Yeah,
coach
a
set down.
handwritten letter.
Yeah, then this was real. If it was something that typed up, hey, the
It's
ball
in
don't
a
bounce
thousand people.
forever. Yeah, the quote. You on their radar, right? But so fast forward, shoe boxes, and I open them, and they're all handwritten, right? Um,
And this is after you performed at nationals.
this is me playing AU, yeah, right, and my name's starting to kind of get out there, right? No social media around at this time. There's one platform called Rivals.com,
Yep.
right? I think it was Eric Bossi was the writer. I can't remember. Um, that was it. It was no Instagram to put your highlight reels. It was no
No
TikTok.
Twitter.
It was no Twitter for my high school coaches or my uncles or coaches to promote me.
Got a
To
mail the tape
showcase.
off.
It was none of that, right? It was you get a couple chances out of the summer to perform, and when you get those chances, you got to perform, right? That was it, right? So when I get those boxes, when I see that for the first time as a city kid growing up, right? Um, I go home to my mom and I say, "Mom, look, like, look at this," and I'm like, "This is my ticket. Like, this is how I can do it. Like, I can get out and I can make a way with basketball, and I love it, and I'm good at it." So I think I want to focus solely on this.
And this was ninth grade?
This was ninth grade.
Damn, early on.
This was ninth grade. This was in the middle of, dude. This was in the middle of the football season. I was playing John Curtis football powerhouse. I'm a freshman. I'm not really playing that much. I'm on the special teams, special teams kickoff and return, punt kickoff, punt return, just because I'm an athlete,
Right.
right? Put him out there, and they know he's gonna be good. But I'm playing behind kids that's going to LSU, UCLA. Like these kids and these are football kids. Like I know it. I'm a basketball player, right? But hey, I've been playing my whole life. My friends are playing. What the heck? I've been playing all the way up, but I get to ninth grade and I see, well, this is it. Like this is the way. So my mom, um, who didn't know any much about the recruiting. My father either didn't know much about
Bring
recruiting
to
at
it.
the time, right? We all are. She goes, well, you need to go. You walk in the office tomorrow and you let Coach JT know that's what you want to do. If, that,
Have
if
an
that's what you
uncomfortable
want,
conversation.
and she prepared me. My mom, my mother, my father, my brother, my uncle prepared me from an early age. And now that I'm older and I have my own kids, I, I know, I understand why they made me do the things that they made me do. I understand, I get it. I understand it. I understand clearly. It's very, very vivid to me why they made me do some of the things they made me do. Why they treated me the way they treated me. Why my brother told me, "Dude, you're different. You're the one. You're the special one." From an early age, gee, I knew it. So next day of school, I go in to the office.
This JT now.
This is JT. I had never been in JT's office. Probably the first time I went to Curtis to visit. He's like that respected around there,
Intimidating in a
right?
sense.
And it's when you a kid,
Yeah, hell
oh
yeah.
yeah. Now when you an adult, different story. But
As a
then
ninth grader?
you're like first you're kind of in awe. Like man, it's like man, this is the coach that wins it every time. Like it's like that, right? So you can imagine a 13, 14-year-old kid, however old I am, going into his office, right? No parents, not the head coach with me, right? It's me by myself, right? Um, and I tell him, and I say, Coach, I'm not gonna stop playing now. I'm not gonna quit in this. I'm not quitting right now. I want to finish the season out. I'm not quitting. But after this, I want to let you know, like I'm going to focus solely on basketball. Like I think that's what my heart, that's what my love, that's what my passion is at, right? Nothing against you guys or football. I'm not leaving John Curtis to go pursue it at a different school. Um, this is where I want to do it at, and I want to be the first to win a basketball championship at John Curtis, and he respected that. He didn't beg me to play football not once. He never told me to go over, rethink it, talk to your mom, dad. He said, Biko, if that's what you really want to
Nope.
do, thank you. They knew. They knew. They knew. I finished the season. Dude, it's the funniest thing. Curtis, they had won the state championship in football, G, for like 5 years straight. That year we lost in the state finals, so I didn't even get a ring.
Damn.
Right? But which was fine. Like
Right.
I was with my
Right.
boys. I was with my boys and we play. I didn't even play. Like I special team. Like when we win every game, it's cool. I ain't tripping. Um Sophomore year I averaged 30.
I remember that.
It was on.
That's when I heard about you.
That's when it was
Sophomore year.
that's when it was on. That's when it was I was that's
your team.
that was it, and it was and everybody knew it. The seniors that came from the football team, they knew it. Fred, I had a guy, Fred, he's a AD now. He played at UCLA defensive end. Big, intimidating guy. Cardell Stewart played at LSU.
Yeah,
A lot of these guys coming back to me.
I remember
all these guys.
O-line.
I was a freshman. Yeah. And dude, they were like, give it to him. Give it to him. Sophomore year, we in Baton Rouge, McKinley. I had never been to BR like that. Didn't know what McKinley Tech.
Hostile
Didn't know what the
environment.
project. Didn't know what that was. I know what it is in the city. I bet but second, third round. Curtis had never been this far. I'm a sophomore. They beating us. Oh, they had Tyrus Thomas. Play for you. They had other guys too. No disrespect, I just don't remember a lot of those kids' names. But I know him. And they were up on us, man. I mean, that was probably most crowd, the practice gym I had played in. Other than maybe playing in the city against Carver and Paulo and some of those guys.
Right.
Playing out there it was like the second, third round playoff. And Curtis had never been that far, and it was a big deal. And
Hell yeah.
They were beating us. They were beating us the whole game. Fourth quarter, I kind of got it going. They were up 6, 7, 8 points the whole game, and we just couldn't get them right. In the fourth quarter, man, I don't know what it was, and I kind of
locked in.
It kind of carried us a little bit for a stretch, right? And we took the lead first time all game, and it's probably 3-4 minutes left, and now you can feel it. Everybody's like, "Oh, we got this. We can do it, right? We right there." And I got my boys. I got Johnny, Joe McKnight. Like these are guys that I grew.
So
like,
Joe was playing basketball?
We gonna get to it. Yeah,
I know that.
Man, listen. The crowd run on the court. We take the lead. They run on the court. Stop the game. We got to go in the locker room for like 45 minutes to an hour. Like they're like, yo, we're getting out of here with a win. It got like that.
Damn.
DJ started playing the music, crowd on the court, they're dancing. Game is stopped. We're in the locker room. I met John Curtis. Understand, right? This is right. So
unfamiliar territory.
And who else is on the team? Like who I'm with, right? And I'm a 15-year-old kid. Like I'm a kid. I'm not a grown up at all. And never pretended to be. I was a kid. People that know me, like I was a kid. I was very mature, but I was a kid. And we ended up playing the game and ended up beating us by 3 points. And like we could never get they broke our momentum, our rhythm. And then that was kind of it. And then that was kind of the end of that. And man, I was doing it. I was getting one. Towers was gone. I was gonna get one. I had 2 more years, and I had Johnny Thiel, had Big Tank on my side. I had Joe McKnight, and they knew they was running the football. They had it. I was gonna take care of basketball in November, December till y'all come.
Right.
I got it. I promise you, I got it. Y'all come, bring the toughness. Just bring it. Joe gonna pick you up 94 feet, and that don't take a skill.
Right.
That don't take nothing.
That's an effort.
That's hard. Like Joe wanted it more than anybody. Joe could have went to the MLB, to the NBA, to the NFL.
He was that
could have been an Olympic in track. Unbelievable. Unreal. And this, I'm gonna say this a little off center. I'm now the head coach at John Curtis. He's the reason why I took this job.
Explain. Elaborate on that.
He's a big part of like who I am. I didn't get to go to the funeral.
Damn.
A lot, a lot. Um, as you get older, things they become less about you
Yep.
and more about the people around you, the people you love, right? Um, I always wanted to coach, college coach, always. I always knew like I would be a good coach.
Even in high school.
Before that, I was very, very realistic with myself.
Right.
I wasn't fast. I wasn't quick. I wasn't super duper athletic. I was tough. I had heart, and I had a good support system. And I worked my ass off. I did. And I was always doubted. Too overweight, too slow, not quick enough, not fast enough, not athletic enough, right? I always knew the game. I was always the smartest one, no matter what. So I knew I was going to be a coach. But I was going to use the ball to get as far as I can get with it.
But oh, you ain't playing the ACC, and that's when the ACC was like
I was very,
the
very,
mecca of college basketball.
very, 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 very strategic in everything I did. Everything I did. Gee, I'm talking about since a youngin. Very, very strategic. Never moved off emotions to this day. Never. Never. Gee, I knew I was going to coach. I knew I was going to coach college. I knew it. So when I picked the school, whatever school I went to, whatever college, I was going to be on time. I was going to earn a captain spot. I was going to be a leader. I was going to be the coach when the coaches wasn't there. I was going to do these things because I'm at the highest level at the ACC. These assistants, there's only one more thing they can do. We're there. If you're an assistant in the ACC, what's your next step? To be
A head coach.
a head coach. So if these guys see me in the gym first every day and the last one to leave, and I know all the plays from every spot, I'm a leader. I'm in every class, never failing. I'm at all the tutorings. I'm doing everything the right way. So if you see this over a kid who didn't come from much,
Right.
a tough, pretty, I had both parents, never struggled, don't get it wrong, right? But from the city, and never easy. Never easy. My dad, 2, 3 jobs.
You earned everything.
Same, yeah, never was easy. Don't get it but I'm not, but, they saw that. Over 4, like over 3, 4. You see it. You're around me 24/7. Damn, this kid he's a freshman. He's the first one. He's
You was
he's
wired
never
different
late.
mentally.
Yeah, I had a I'll keep saying it. I had a good support system.
That's something that was instilled in you
I had
early
a
on.
great support system. They would not. I couldn't slip. I couldn't couldn't. And I had too much respect for the men in my life. It's 3 men. It's 3. My brother, my father, and my uncle Jabbar. There's 3 of them. I couldn't lose. But I couldn't lose with them 3. It's impossible. My brother's the smartest guy I know. The smartest guy. Anything smart as I know. My dad, most disciplined guy I know. Most disciplined. Tell him to do something, G, you can go to sleep. It's getting done.
It's getting done.
My uncle, a dog. Period. Anybody in the city, they know who he is.
Oh yeah.
He a dog.
Yeah.
From on the field to off the field. So, G, what I did, I took a little from my brother. I took a little from my father. I took a little from Jabbar. And then my mom is just loving, caring, supporting,
Nurturer.
and then I got that too.
Good balance. No doubt.
And I was so I'm in college, doing everything the right way. I graduate. I want to get into coaching. It's extremely hard to get into college coaching. For basketball world, extremely hard.
Hard to crack.
Couldn't get in. Right? I'm in the best shape of my life though. Just finished playing 4 years at ACC. Right? Can't get in. I'm gonna go play. While I'm playing, I'm staying in contact. All the guys that recruited
You
me.
went to Germany.
Went to Germany, Dusseldorf, and played. Um,
How many years you did in Germany?
I didn't even do a whole season.
Okay.
I didn't even do a whole season.
How was that
Uh,
experience though?
it was an awesome experience. A different country. Um, Playing against some of the best players in the world. Getting paid to do something you absolutely love to do. I mean, it was. I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm glad I did it.
Right.
But I knew coaching was what I wanted to do. I wanted to get into coaching. I knew it. Um, so I played. While playing, always strategic. While playing, still emailing all the coaches that recruited me, right? Especially the coaches that coached me. They know at this point, man, I want to get in, and they know my work ethic. They know what I'm about. They know what I'm going to bring to the table. They know. So I go back to Boston. Um, I get on as a video coordinator at Boston University. The guy Joe Jones is one of my mentors, who I talk to a lot. Um, got me a video coordinator job, making $5,000 for the season. Not a lot. And if anybody knows how expensive it is to live in Boston, that won't get you that far. But I had a little money saved from playing, had a little bit, so I was able to make it work. Right, coaching there, video coordinator there for a season. When I leave, I'm sorry, after the season's over, he's gonna bring me back for a year too. I'm just excited because I'm in the door. I don't even care. I'm in. I work my way up because that's all I know. It's how I work. I'm gonna work anyway. I'm leaving the office. I get a call from Patrick Duquette. Patrick Duquette, tell you his story. He's the guy that recruited me to Boston College, and we'll go back and I'll tell you how I got to BC.
So
Matter
you
of fact,
so
I'll tell you now.
he was one of the assistants.
Tell you now.
Skinner was the head coach, right?
When I'm in sophomore year, we lose to McKinley Tech. Katrina happens. I can't go back to Curtis. I end up going to Houston.
Right.
I go to a school called Cypress Christian. I'm on I'm on a loaded team. I'm on a team with Hasheem to beat like he was number 1 or number 2 pick in the draft.
Hold up. I never knew you played on the same team as Hasheem.
Hasheem to beat. Steve Changane played at Vanderbilt. Now with the Celtics as an assistant coach, as a coach. I don't want to say assistant, as a coach. Garland Jenkins went to Arizona. Antoine Sam, Texas State. A kid named Ludovic played at Tulsa. I went to Boston College.
So what made you
Sheen
go to?
with the Connecticut. This is my high school team.
Yeah,
My
I'm saying,
11th,
what
12th.
made you go to Cypress knowing they loaded like that?
Check this out. After my sophomore season, I'm not gonna say who I was working out with. I had a workout at Abramson High School in the East, where I was born and raised. Right. Had a workout with Hasheem Tabit. He just came down from Africa. Just came down from his country.
To New Orleans?
He was going to school in, I don't want to say I don't want to be wrong. He was going to school in upstate Louisiana, somewhere in Lafayette. He was saying, I don't know. He was on his way to go somewhere in Louisiana to go to school.
Wow.
But Katrina
I never
happened.
knew that.
Nobody probably knows this.
That's
Katrina
crazy.
happened, right? I worked out with him once. He couldn't catch the ball. I was pick and roll, bang, dropping it to him, bang, dump ball.
And
It
it was 7-3, huh?
7-3. Ball going back of the head. He couldn't catch it. But he's 7-3. The ones he did catch, he could dunk it. But he loved the game. And I worked with him one time. So I get to Houston. It's back and forth on if I'm gonna go back to Curtis. Curtis trying to find me a place to live so I can come back. Right? My house is destroyed. Can't get back. Um, Long story short, guy that worked us out, he's like, man, Hasheem going there. Biko, go over there. Go check this school out. I told the coach about you already. Go over there for practice. Go to a workout. I go over there. He was like, they loaded. They got talent. They got players. That's what I did. Woke up every morning. I forget the name of it. I lived damn near an hour and 15 minutes from that school. I got up every morning for 5:30, 6 a.m. practice, and drove to the school. My dad would drive me and my cousin to the school because we had one gym, and the volleyball team had to use the gym after school. That's how I got found. So watch this. After my junior year, I play there. We go undefeated, win the state championship. And then I play AU. Now I'm on the map.
Dang.
Now I'm getting recruited. Now I got offers. Now people, right? Now it's on, right? Um, I go play my last AAU tournament, nationals. Playing in Orlando. We're playing. We lose. The whole thing is to win nationals. We lose in the Final Four. We made it far as hell. It's like 200 teams. Made it far. Maybe Final Four, Elite Eight, whatever we lost. Whatever we played and we lost towards the end. We got our last game. It's like for third place, a fourth place game. And respectfully, our team was like, man, we ain't playing this, man.
Right.
We came to win it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Sloppy
we
seconds.
go to Universal Studios. We about to go to the theme park. They had a third place. Yeah, we ain't. And we were that good though. We had a good squad. I mean, that's what we were competing for. Um, but we played the game, and I'm gonna hoop if we gonna play, right? I never forget it. We played Alabama Challenge, and they're like a top team, the Nike team at the time. Forget who they had on their team. He came out in my class in '07. Can't remember his name. Big kid. Went to Alabama University, as a matter of fact. Um, I might have had 50 that game. Now that game was going on when the championship game was going on. Our games prior to it packed with coaches because we were good, right? But this game was empty because all the coaches was a championship game. It was at the Worldwide Sports. It was one court right next to each other. But me, I'm gonna play. That's what I know. I don't know how to take it easy or relax
Right.
and trust me, I won't play for first place too. But we out here playing, so I'm gonna play.
Competitor.
I'm damn near had 50. Right? Fly back to Houston to my apartment. I get a call from Tim Floyd. Tim Floyd is the head coach at Southern Cal. Dude, I don't know nothing about recruit. I don't know nothing about nothing. I know how to play basketball. I don't. Nobody in my family got recruited. Like my dad and my brother, they didn't play. They didn't do this.
So you didn't have anybody to guide you through this process.
Nah, nah. So guess what? So now check this out. I know Joe's going to USC, right?
Joe McKnight.
He idolizes Reggie Bush. This is my man's, right? I know it, right? At the time, Dwight Lewis is there.
Mm-hmm.
Played at Rummel.
Mm-hmm.
I know him as well. Some of the better kids growing up in the city. We played with and against each other all the time.
Yeah.
Battle, right? He's there. Southern Cal. I go on a visit. Southern Cal. I take it. I take the scholarship. I'm going. I ain't never been to the West Coast. They like me. I like them.
Ryan Francis was still alive?
Yeah. Yeah, that happened after.
Okay.
That happened when I was in BC. I was at BC, I want to say.
Okay, gotcha.
I want to say that happened that happened after. I think he went. Was he younger than me?
No, he was older than you.
He was older.
Yeah, Ryan graduated 06, I think. Or 05.
He wasn't.
Somewhere around there.
I missed the. That's a little blur that timing, but I remember the incident. I don't know why something's telling me I was at Curtis. I mean at Boston College. Yeah, but I can't remember. But yeah, I go on a visit. Now that I went through the recruiting whole thing, like I was a coach and all of this, now I know they brought another kid up from North Carolina when I came up, and they made us play
1-on-1.
Not 1-on-1, but play with the book.
Okay.
Guess was on that team. Dwight Lewis, really good. Nick Johnson, they played. Oh no. I'm sorry, Nick Young. Played for the Lakers. Taj Gibson,
who's still in the league right now.
DeMar DeRozan, who was my class, he got there. OJ Mayo was committed there, was supposed to be going there. Like Lil Romeo was connected with DeRozan. Yeah. Daniel Hackett from the West Coast. Yeah. So,
that thing was star
study. It was another kid too, a guard, Gibson. Maybe his last.
Daniel Gibson.
Not Daniel Gibson. I forget his name. Not Taj Gibson. Another guard that was there too. That went to the league that school. But anyway, they made me and this other high school kid. This was basically it was a tryout. It was we gonna take you, Biko, or him. And I got the betterment of that, and I didn't know this, but this is what it was. They offered it to me. We went to breakfast the next morning. My mom, they offered me the scholarship. Now, in the time, I'm thinking that's my boy. We playing, we hooping, hey man. But I'm gonna hoop. gonna kick you. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna get it twisted.
You
Right?
gonna get these buckets.
I didn't know it was a tryout. This is the tryout. I didn't know that. All right. So they offer it. I take it. Like I don't even know if I knew I get 5 visits.
Right.
I don't know if I knew that, but I take that. Then I go back. No, hold on. I take that back. Well, yeah. After the 50-point game in Orlando, I fly back home. Next day, Tim Floyd call. Boom. Within a week, me and my mom on a flight to Southern Cal. Within another week, I take it. I go back. School, summertime, whatever. I'm training. I'm just getting ready. School's about to start. I get whiffed that he's gonna leave. Tim Floyd.
That's when he left.
So I got out. They went to Texas. UTEP. Sorry, UTEP. But that's when the scandal and OJ Mayo and all that stuff to come out. So I was able to get out of. So check this out.
So you really was supposed to be playing at
I was with
the US?
No, watch. G.
That's crazy.
G,
I never knew that.
G. Check this story out. No social media platforms at the time.
Right.
I had an interview with Eric. I hope the guy's name is Eric Bossi. He was for Rivals.com, one of the top reporters. It was an article. I had an interview with him the morning after we had practice at 6 in the morning. I had a phone interview with him after practice to announce my decommitment and reopening my recruitment. That was how this other schools was gonna know I'm back on the market, right? Gee, I'm at the 6 a.m. practice, right? Practicing, boop, 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 boop. Break, go get some water. I'm walking to the water fountain. As I'm walking, there's a white guy, jeans and a polo. He don't even have on. And most times when college coaches at practice, they got their school stuff on.
Yeah.
So you kind of, kids know, they glance, they look up, right? That's how I go, let's be honest, right? I'm walking. He got on jeans. Now, mind who on my team, Machine to Beat, it's like 7 damn NBA prospects on the team.
Right.
Right? So the gyms is always packed with coaches. 6 in the morning, packed. Right? I'm walking past him. He goes, hey man, he goes, hey Biko, congratulations on Southern Cal. I'm walking to the water fountain, middle of practice. I go, hey, I don't even know who he is. I go, hey, I'm about to decommit. I say, hey, appreciate it. I'm decommitting after practice, man. But I appreciate it. And kept it moving in stride. Like, right? He said, ho, come back. Told me who he was. He was the assistant coach for Boston College. But I didn't know because he had on a polo and jeans. He didn't have on his paraphernalia. I didn't know. He said, don't tell anybody that.
Keep that shit a secret.
Don't you tell anybody that.
Keep that shit a secret, bro.
Dude, my father went to my apartment, got VHSs of me playing for him to take back to Boston to show Al Skinner. I was on the next flight to Boston after that, me and my mother.
The next day?
Al Skinner, within 3 days. Al was down there and I was out there. That was it.
So that's how you ended up at Boston College.
I didn't get a chance to reopen it.
Damn. So you never did the interview with the reporter?
Never did.
Wow.
Never did the interview. So within 5 days, I'm an Eagle.
You didn't want to explore your options?
Within 5 days, my high school coach was putting in the flex offense for my high school to run. Because that's what BC was. The flex. That everybody hated, but we won with it. Yeah, with Jared Dudley and Sean Tyrese Rice, Lewis Hennett,
Troy Bell.
Bell,
man.
We didn't even talk about the bigs, Craig Smith,
yep.
I'm missing Rakim Sanders, Corey Raji, Reggie Jackson, NBA champion. Man, listen.
That's when Boston College was
could go on forever. Yeah.
What else can Ed now? What else can Ed?
He's not coaching no more. He's out, but he's still in the. He's helping doing the NCAA recruiting. They do like camps for some of the better high school kids to go to these camps and get recruited so he's still in it, but not coaching. But
I used to watch him on TV. Bro, I used to be like so intimidated by him.
Dude, listen, that's how he was as a coach. Listen, he was like JT. You don't never went in his office. You'll see him on campus, like walking. Coach, what's up? Dog. He was that shit. It was ran like a pro. It was pro. This was a pro. This is a professional organization. This is not. You don't have no relationship. This is not kikiing with Al Skinner. If you in his office, you in trouble.
Yeah.
Or you with NBA scouts.
Damn.
You don't sit in his office. You don't kiki with him. It ain't play. You're not playing. You're not about to see him a kiki. It's not. It's not funny with him. But that's how we was as a team. They're not gonna play with us. Like, we gonna bring it. And they recruited guys like us. I didn't have another ACC offer. I had Tulane, Wichita State, when it was peaking, when Van Fleet, like, yeah. I had stuff like that. Connecticut started sniffing. Stanford sniffed. Texas Tech sniffed when Bobby Knight was there. That's the first time my dad got involved. And I was like, man, I'm not playing for him. My dad was like, give him a chance. Man, you know what that is? I had an in-home visit with him. I canceled it. I'm not playing for him. I didn't want to play. And I played for coaches, Jabbar,
Yeah.
Brock, T. Howard,
Yeah.
Big Woo.
Yeah.
I played with coaches that's gonna get in you. That's gonna get in you.
Right.
They spitting in your face because they so. I did that. All right, and I can handle that. No problem. Come on. I'm gonna slap you on your ass. I got you, coach. They gonna stop doing it to me because they don't affect me. Like, right? Do that to player A, B, C, D. Or
Right.
that might get him
Right.
going. That don't get me going.
Right.
I'm going. You know what I'm saying? So, but I didn't cancel that. Sheen was at Connecticut. So that was the thing. Started sniffing, right? But
Might have been a package deal.
he was a year older than me. He was a freshman. I was a senior in high school. So that's how he was like, man, you need to go get him. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew I made him. I made you.
Right. Right.
So he know he's trying to get
Top it off.
he's trying to get to the league. Man, go get him. He know everything.
You know
He
what
knew
he in my spots. Yeah. Yeah. So bro.
So I get the BCG.
Bro,
And
that had to be a
Rice.
culture shock though. Like Louisiana, where it's humid and hot, going to Boston. I'd have been to Boston, bro. It's cold. That had to be a culture shock. Like, you didn't get homesick. How you adapted to that?
G. Everything is strategic. G. This shit is strategic. I had the ball. Do you think? Gee, I done been balled up in vans in the back of my dad, Durango, driving to Mississippi every weekend to play for an AAU team because I couldn't play down here. You think I'm gonna let Cole stop me from going get? You think I'm gonna let when I play indoor sport? I'm cold from the dorm to the classroom. I'm cold from the classroom to the gym because I don't party.
Right? That was your mindset.
So I'm from New Orleans.
But what about being homesick? The food.
Gee,
Parents can't see you play
I'm
all the
from
time.
New Orleans. I've been through Katrina. I went to Katrina. It took me a day, 24 hours to get from New Orleans to Houston with a backpack. My mother didn't miss coming to a game when I was growing up. She didn't know nothing about basketball. Playing biddy. She never missed a game and she recorded every game. Gee, I had containers stacked in the attic, stacked with every game I played. Biddy, Goretti, Stallions, the Panthers, the team Jabbar put together, John, you name it, I had it stacked. My dad stayed in Katrina trying to save that shit.
Damn.
I lost all of that. I went to Houston with a backpack, toothbrush, gym shorts, because I was coming right back.
You thought you was coming right back.
Everybody, we out there. We do this every year.
Yeah, yeah.
So, gee, this is what I've been through. So not getting gumbo or bell peppers or snowball. Come on, man.
Hot sausage.
Come on, man. Come on, man. That's not gonna stop me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's not it. That's not it. Nah. I was taught from a youngin'. You different. You different. You're a little different. You're a little different. You're a little special. And to this day, I still believe that. I am.
So your 4 years at Boston College, talk about that, man. Talk about the trials and tribulations you went through, the adversity you went through. Playing on that stage, bro. I mean, the Duke, that's when like we just talked about, that's when the ACC was the #1 conference, probably next to the Big East. That was probably 1A, 1B. That was the best basketball conferences in the country, bar none.
I agree.
Like, how did you deal with playing on that stage, bro?
I've been looked at as one of the best my whole life. I've been gunned for and gunned at my whole life. Like the lights, all of the people. Gee, like you grow and the more hoopers that come on this, they'll tell you like you
You get immune to it.
yeah, it's like fame. You know what I'm saying? Like most of the people that's famous, they don't want the fame
Right.
no more. They want to walk in the mall and go to Target.
They won't be able to go to the movies with their girl. Go to amusement park with the kids.
You get them, and then you like that's how it is. Like man, that don't bother you. That don't. And then you with your boys. Dog, we at war. Dog, gee, I've been running stadiums with them. We've been waking up 4, 5 in the morning and go. We back at we, you know what I'm saying? We done been through war. It don't take much. And then this game, man, what? It don't take much. You don't need much motivation. You don't. When you know what I'm saying?
So
Like
why?
I don't have no choice but man, Jabbar used to tell me, dog, you ain't gonna eat.
Right.
We ain't stopping at McDonald's if you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Come with it.
If you don't, so like it was. I just had that, and I was around other kids about when I came in as a freshman. Tyrese Rice was a junior. Tyrese Rice, one of the best. He is probably the
It
best
was tough.
player with the ball in his hands that I have ever played with. And I played with some of the best. With the ball, he's one of the best. Probably the best with that ball to this day. Him and so I came as a freshman, he's there as a junior. I'm a freshman. I begin to start in the backcourt with him as a freshman. He's a junior. I was brought in to back him up. He's a junior. He's going to the league. After this, he's out. He'll step in. Boom. Hey, cool with me. No problem. I come in. I back him up. I can feel my feet, get my feet wet. Well, guess what? First game, Tyrese can't play. Not going to say why. Something goes on personally. He can't play. They call me in the office. First day, my first college game as a freshman. Biko, Tyrese can't play. You're starting tomorrow. Not the exhibition, not a scrimmage, not a closed scrimmage. Like this is you either 1-0 or you 0-1. And when you BC, you playing a team that you're supposed to win the first game. You're supposed to win that game. That's like a big thing, right? I start that game. I remember, dude. I remember. I was in I was in Ignacio Hall in on BC campus, and I called my brother, looking out the window. I said, "Bro, I'm starting tomorrow." Cause the summer prior to that, my freshman year, I was getting my ass kicked. Tyrese was kicking my ass that summer. I was calling like, "Dog, I don't know. This nigga is nice. Like dog, he gotta answer for everything.
He get hooping.
But
How tall Tyrese was?
shorter than me, 5'11",
Yeah.
maybe. But to his credit, he kicked my ass, but he took me under the wing and he taught me a lot. But he knew he gonna be all right. He gonna be with me. So I called my brother, dog, I'm starting tomorrow. He's like, what's good with Tyrese? I said, man, I don't know. I'm starting, right? I go out next day. I got like 19 points, right? So now, gee, the nerve is done. The little bit that I probably would have had when I would have subbed in, it was gone. Gee, I remember I was warming up. We warm up. You know, so many times in college, you warm up, you go back, you warm up, you go do the scout, you warm up, you go back, prep talk, then you go back. One of the times the little kid would say, hey, sign an autograph. Right? So I'm a nice kid. Like, hey, Pat Duquette, the guy that recruited me. He walking behind me. I put that down. You ain't do nothing yet. Right? Joking with me. But that helped me just laugh. Right? That was him like, man, you all right, man. You gonna be all right. Like, and I just, 19 points. And starting, like, I just kind of kept it going. But then it taught me, then, Sophomore year, then Reggie Jackson come. Now I'm barely 6 feet, right? He's 6'4".
Reggie Jackson that tall?
What? Reggie came in 6'3".
I didn't know Reggie Jackson was that tall. I thought he was 6'1", 6'2".
Reggie came in 6'3.5", 6'4". Came in probably 170, 165.
A bucket.
A bucket, but the most confidence you as for a freshman, you'll be like, hold on now. But it's like that as a freshman. Like, I mean, he came in and went at it with Reese, like talking shit. Wasn't like with Tyrese, and like nobody really, not Tyrese, bust his ass, but Reggie, and I'm like, this gonna be fun. We're gonna compete. This gonna be fun.
Iron gonna sharpen iron.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. BG, I know I'm not an NBA player. Now I'm gonna push myself.
So when did you started being realistic with yourself?
From a youngin', I knew, like,
oh no, now Boston College.
But I chased it. No, I chased it. I did chase it, but I was realistic. Like, man, that's hard.
Yeah.
But it was in me. Like, man, I'm gonna chase this shit. I got a chance.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go. But it wasn't like if I don't make that, then it was a bust. Yeah. It was a fail. And I want a lot of kids to know today, like, if you don't make the NBA, you're not a fail. It's not a failure. You're not a bust.
Right.
Like, dog, like, you can do that. Ball can take you. You can meet some people. And you can do a lot. So that was like I said, G, my support system. Like,
prepared you.
The one thing my mom told me, the ball don't bounce forever. Like, that sticks with me. And that was telling me, like, you got to be able to do something when this is over with. You got to be able to use this, because if you're lucky, you'll play till you're 35. If you're lucky. You graduate college 22, 23. All right, you got 10, 12, 15 years to play already. You're 35, 36. Now what?
Gotta figure it out.
So I knew, like, I'm standing around ball. I'm gonna coach, and I'm the point guard. I'm smart as shit. I know everything. I know the game in and out. I know how to attack. I know everything. I've been watching these coaches since I've got to BC. I know how to do a scout. I know how to look for talent, recruit, evaluate talent.
So, as you transition into coaching, right? Take me through that, man. Take me through, because a lot of people don't really understand the grind of a college coach.
It's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard. But I shouldn't say it's hard. It's an everyday grind. It's 24/7. Like, you don't really have an outside life. Now, I worked for a guy, Patrick Duquette, who he recruited me to BC. I worked for him. We didn't even tell that part of the story.
Right.
But he called me after I was working at BC at BU. Mm-hmm. After I was the video coordinator, he called me. He got the job. He was gonna get the job. He said, "Hey, B, can't say." He said, "I might get this job. If I get it, would you be my assistant?" I said, "Done." I didn't know where it was at. He said, "You can't say nothing. I'm gonna find out tomorrow morning." He called me at 5 a.m. I was on campus at 6. I was with.
Your first job was
with Pat the guy that recruited me to BC. And that's the story. That's what I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying? What school?
UMass Lowell.
Okay, yeah.
So it worked. My plan worked. The guy that recruited me to BC, he saw me. He got a head coaching job. I was the first person he called. He had been all over the world coaching. You know how many people he knew he could have called? He called me. And I said, I'm in. And gee, I worked for him for 2 months. Before my mother said, Biko, you need to find out how much you're getting paid so you can get an apartment. I said, Coach, hey, don't take this the wrong way. How much is this? He said, Biko,
after 2 months?
He said, Biko, I didn't tell you? I said, Coach, it wouldn't have mattered. No, but it wouldn't have mattered. 40, 50, 60, 20, 30. I was working for 5. Fuck, what? All right, come on. He's like, man, you could have been came to, but that's not, yeah, my shit worked. My plan worked.
Damn.
My shit worked.
Bro, I don't know too many people that have been 2 months on a job.
I worked for him for 9 years straight. I turned down Louisiana Tech. I turned down Boston University. I turned down Louisiana to come home. I turned down an opportunity to come down to get back close to home.
Just because of the rapport?
And me, loyal. Like, we took over a program that was going from D2 to D1.
Yeah.
And I told him, man, I'm going to see this through. I'm gonna stand on my word. That's my support system. You're gonna stand. I'm gonna stand on that. I never switched. I could have went to plenty of schools. I never switched. Not for no, money couldn't give me a switch. So now I'm coaching for 9 years for the same guy, and we turned this program from wherever it was to
Right. Higher heights.
competing for it. We was in a conference tournament championship. A D2 program turned D1. We turned it. Couldn't compete for the conference championship for 4 years. So imagine trying to recruit a kid that you telling him, yo, G, come to my school, but you can't play in the tournament for 4 years.
Right.
Imagine how hard that is recruiting
Right.
a kid.
Right.
So you got to be. So now you got to be that only kid's offer. Or you got to go get a D2 kid who trying to prove himself to play D1. You got to use this now. You got to get creative. You see what I'm saying? So I stood on that. I never budged. Never. Now I had 3 kids that live in Carolina. I got family that's in New Orleans that I've been going away from since '05.
Right.
I got family members that's been going through it. Medical things, right? So as you get older, a lot of those things come into play.
So that brings me to my next question. I know you just recently accepted the job at your old high school, John Curtis, after coaching college basketball for 10+ years, man, and a close family member of yours, man, got diagnosed with brain cancer, and you decided to leave college basketball, man, to come back to your old high school, man. Talk about that decision, man. I know that has to
tough.
be a hard decision, man, to walk away from, you know, college basketball, your old coach, and come back home, you know, for that type of circumstance.
For sure. Um, it was really hard. But again, a lot. It's how you handle things, right? I'm always upfront. I'm always honest, right? So the guy I was working for, Coach Pat, he knew. I told him what I was going through. We had a heart-to-heart, tears. He understand. He's the godfather of my kids, of my 2 boys that live in North Carolina. So he knew how hard it was seeing my boys grow up. You know what I'm saying? He know how hard recruiting that. I can't get to them like that, right? I can't just go see my family when stuff's going on. I've been gone since '05. You know this.
Yeah.
You found me in Houston. You know my Katrina story. You know all this. You know I never switched on you. You know this. I never came in and asked you for more money. One of the first ones in the office every day, one of the last ones to leave. Right? Those things made it really hard to leave. Then you talk about the kids I recruited there. I had 2 kids from the city. Greg Hammond and Khalil Thomas from Sophie B. Wright and from Holy Cross. That's in the city. I had 2 city kids there that was going to be seniors. But I knew I prepared them. They were well off. They were fine. No matter if I was there or not.
Right.
And no matter if they stayed or left. I prepared them. And their parents prepared them. They were ready. They were ready. And it was time. It was time. Again, it become less about yourself, right, and more about the people that you love, the people around you. And I stand on that.
Yeah.
And I was a firm believer that, man, if basketball is what I'm supposed to be doing, I'll find my way back to it. And if not, and if I'm back home and I'm with my family and I can go see my kids whenever I want, then I'm okay with that as well. And I'll get my basketball fix however I get it.
Right.
So I work my nephew out. I go help out at call with T. Howard. Right. I was calling Rob at Landry. That's my boy. Man, let me just come do anything. Let me just work with the kids. I don't care. I don't want no money. Just let me do anything. Right? Do it. Just to satisfy the itch. Right? Go to St. Aug playoff game with my brothers. Just cause. Right? And I'm enjoying it, G. I mean, I'm at Jazz Fest, French Quarter Fest.
Last time you been to Jazz Fest?
Gumbo Fest. And that's the only fest that I would be able to get down to when I was coaching.
Okay.
But still, that I'm here for 2 days. Thursday, maybe that Thursday, Friday, and I'm out.
Yeah.
So I never really get the whole, but I'm at Jazz Fest, French Quarter Fest, Gumbo Fest. I'm at them all. Fried Chicken Fest. I mean, I'm living next door to my brother. I'm having a good time with my mom, my dad, seeing my sister, my uncles. Man, I'm good going to see my kids whenever I want. And then boom, I get a phone call from Curtis. I had no idea. Didn't know the job was open. Didn't know the coach was leaving. Didn't know nothing about nothing. I was out of the basketball world.
God's timing.
Out of the world. And I told him I didn't want it. At first, I was like, nah, because I know how much time and how much I know what it is. I know how much of a grind it is, right? You can't do this 50%, 60%, 70. You can't be 75% in. You got to be in, right? So I knew I had. It was either I'm in and I'm giving up my time, right, to hang with my family and do this and see my kids, or I'm gonna be in, and I know my family's here. They're gonna support me. They can come to the games. I'm the head coach, so I can go see my kids whenever I want. I can, um, and like I said, Joe, that's why. That's why he with me. He, I don't care about wins, losses. I didn't take the job for the money. It's not that much money. I don't need it. I'm good. It ain't that.
Now, and you walking into a situation with you know one of the best kids in the state, Archer Manning Jr. Man, I got the luxury of watching him play a few games last season. He's a hell of a talent,
Man,
hell of a talent. The way he carries himself on the basketball court and his skill set for a kid that's only going into his sophomore year, is very impressive, man. Talk about walking into a situation with a talented kid like that, knowing that he's going to be under your tutelage for the next 3 years, and how you can pour into him and groom him for the next level, because we know he's going to play college basketball.
right. And that's. I mean, I'm. First of all, he is unbelievable with the bat. I mean, he's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, his loss for rate, he's tremendous.
he had a 50 ball as a freshman last
And
year.
listen,
A 50 ball.
I won't be shocked if he have a couple this year.
Yeah.
I won't. I wouldn't be surprised because I know I've seen. I know he's capable. Some people maybe I wouldn't, but outside of that, and we're gonna talk about him for a second. Outside of that, him as a kid, top notch. And when I say as a kid, top notch things that I look for, able to communicate, holds himself accountable, a leader, right? Gets in the car, he speaks, walks in the gym, he's gonna speak. Because I'm trying to build good young men.
Yep.
Because I know what it's like when you leave, when you're in the real world. That's why the wins and losses don't matter that much, right? Young men, good young men. We're gonna win games. We got talent. We're gonna work hard, and we're gonna be prepared. But I want them to be prepared out there as well. So, but the sky's the limit. And I'm gonna give them all the game, all the knowledge. We was texting before I came in here.
Yeah.
Like that's and he wants it.
So when you took the job, how did that first conversation go?
I didn't really know. I didn't know too much about him. I didn't know nothing about any of those kids. Any of the kids I have right now, I love those kids. Listen, those kids' parents know what's up with me. All of them, they know. I didn't know those kids.
So you didn't know who? Hold up. So you didn't know who Archer Manning Jr. was?
I kind of knew of him. I never saw him play.
Right.
I never talked to him.
Right.
The old coach, I didn't know him really.
Right.
When he got this job 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever he got it, he was like, he called me. Man, everybody's talking about you. Man, this is it. Had to meet you. I was at Low. He probably called me once a year. Once every season. I probably talked to him 3 times. And then he called me when he left to go to Oral Roberts. I didn't really know who he was. I didn't know any of those. I didn't. Now once they reached out and it started to surface, well then yeah, I'm gonna start to do some homework and start to see who some of these guys are.
So were you
and then my boys hit me. Yo, you know how
got a kid over there.
Like yo, the young boys. You got some guys. You got some. No, it's a process because we young, right? We young, but man, I love it, and I love that they're young because they sponges. and you know, and the respect is there on both sides because they're talented,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they respect me because a lot of stuff that they're trying to do, I did it. I don't have no stake in the game. I don't want nothing from nobody but to see you do well. Just invite me to the cookout, the weddings, the baby showers, and a couple games. If you, that's all I want. I don't want anything. So that's why I took it. I took it for Joe and my family to be able to come to the games now and
Mm-hmm.
you know cheer us on and
Mm-hmm.
try to help some of the younger kids in the city, give them some opportunities to
Yeah.
go to Curtis and you know have an opportunity to kind of get out of this city and see what else there is to offer because there's a lot more out there and this city ain't going nowhere.
Man, I remember a couple years ago, we was on the Under Armour circuit, man. I remember
Yeah,
talking to you, and you was out there evaluating talent. We was talking about different kids, and I have a real respect for how you evaluate talent.
mhm,
It's like you just said, you look for the little things, body language, can you communicate, things that you know that you're gonna have to have you want to be successful not only in the basketball court
in
but in
life,
life, right?
exactly.
In today's recruiting, man, college recruiting, how hard is it for a college coach to really be able to go out and evaluate a kid and hit more than they miss? Because I feel like a lot of coaches are missing because they're looking for the wrong things.
I, Pat Duquette, Patrick Duquette, the guy that recruited me, the guy that was the head coach now at
Mm-hmm.
UMass Lowell, he the guy that he taught me how to evaluate talent. A lot of recruiters, a lot of guys that's out there recruiting kids, they don't trust their own evaluations. They go off the rankings, or they go off to what the other coach next to them see, or who the other coach got highlighted, right? They don't trust their eye. I've always trusted my eye. You gotta trust you. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't say you can't like a kid, and then a guy next to you don't like him, or you hear over here, and now you don't like him. You can't, and that's what a lot of people do. They don't. They're not good evaluators, but they don't trust. They don't trust their eye. They don't, and that's the key part. If you like a kid, you like him for the reason that you got to be able to stand on and explain why you like him.
Right?
But you like him because of
And it has to be able to fit
the
whatever
way you
system y'all
the
run.
way the way you guys just play. If you run a ball screen offense where the three guards gonna be using the ball screen, they be using the ball. They all gonna have the ball in their hand a lot. If you a shooting guard or a point guard or whatever, and you don't have a tight handle, you can't really handle. You don't make good decisions off the ball screens. You know, you just good at just attacking one on one. Like you probably are still a good player. You just don't fit this system that I'm in. That's all. I don't think you know. But a lot of coaches recruit rankings and the he say she say and what they heard. They don't trust.
Or whoever, if they see you got some nice offers.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying. That's the rankings.
Right.
Right. Such and such got offers from schools that's in their level on their level,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're gonna go watch those kids. I was always a back gym guy. I call myself a back gym guy.
The diamond in the roughs.
Yeah, I'm going in the back gym. And then but also it goes into recruiting, right? This is another thing. Recruiters. You gotta know where you at. I'm at UMass Lowell. What the hell I'm going to EYBL for? Who I'm gonna get in EYBL? Who I'm gonna get? The kids that I can get, they on the bench. How are you gonna evaluate them?
Because they're not playing. They're playing 6 minutes a game.
If that. So I'm gonna go to Under Armour in Adidas in big shots. That's the kids I can get. That's what Louisiana Tech's at. That's what Southern Miss is at. All right, that's the schools I could compete with.
So it's funny you bring that up. Because a lot of kids that I talk to, when they're trying to pick which shoe circuit they're going to play for, right? All of them, man, I'm going to play for Nike. I'm going to play for Nike. I'm going to play with EYBL. I'm going to play for EYBL. And I always tell kids, did you do your research on who's going to be on the roster, right? Did you do your research on the coach who's going to be coaching you, right? And Do you understand that going play on the EYBL, if you're not playing a whole lot,
Don't matter.
it don't matter.
You're not gonna get any looks.
It doesn't matter.
That's the
So,
biggest mistake.
so what is wrong with going to play on Under Armour or Adidas? Now New Balance has a circuit, or on New Balance, where you can be one of the impact players and get properly evaluated. And I tell kids that, and some of them listen, and some don't. And the ones that don't, they double back going when they see you come and say, "Man, I don't understand why I'm not getting looked at. I don't understand why I'm not getting recruited." Well, you played with EYBL for the last 2 years, and you only play 8 minutes a game.
That's it. That's it. And then I don't even have nothing to say. That's what it is. But they doing it maybe for the gear, maybe because they boys on their team, because they think it's cool. I ain't want to say it, but that's probably the number one reason.
Yeah.
Social media. And but the same. You know what's funny though? This is gonna trip you out, G. It's the same thing for the coaches. Why would the small schools? Why are you going to EYBL? So you going for what? You just asked me why they miss, right? What you going there for?
Right.
So you either going there just so you could be sitting on the sideline with the big boys, or you networking to get your next job. So I never was one of them guys. I never was. I'm going out to try to talk to the coach at Georgetown, or talk to the coach at LSU, so I can get. Now let your work speak. Recruit. Get recruits to come here and be first team, second team, all defensive team. Work.
Change the program around.
Work. That's all I know. Am I supposed to work? You gonna work. Jabal, my brother, my father, mother, you're gonna work for it. Work. That shit, like it'll show. And that's what it is. But
What's
the coaches
missing?
do the same thing.
What's missing in today's game, man, from this younger generation, as this new era of basketball? What's missing from when we was coming up? Because we were around the same era. In your opinion.
I would say this. And you know it's funny because Tyrese Rice he did an interview recently and he made a good point. He said we really, when I say we, talking about I guess my age, some of the guys that's in it right now, Rob from Landry, right, Nate and Devin Andrews at Carver, Micah at Bonnable, right, some of these guys, and forgive me if I'm missing guys, it's a bunch that's out there. Some of the older guys too, it's a bunch of guys that's doing it right now. But my point is, we the first kind of generation that we kind of saw both generations. We saw the old school, right? The tough in the parks, right? And now we see the new school with the trainers, social media. It's a little different. We gotta learn. We can't just stay with what we were. Like we gotta learn how to gel it, and you can gel it. You can mix it. Like my guy, like they into Euros and you know all of those the new stuff. Like that wasn't a thing back in the day. I wasn't about to do all of that. Man, I'm right by you. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm getting downhill.
But it's different now. The game is different. You have to continue to grow on the court in life. Like people that don't read, like, dude, how can you not read? How can you not try to better? You know what I'm saying? How can you not try to make your mind grow? It's like your body. You gotta eat. You gotta feed it, right? So how you don't feed this? Everything evolve, it changes. If you gonna be stuck, if you stuck on that, like, no, we gotta implement some of the old school, some of that toughness, right? Some of that, man, all the cute, like, nah. But you can still have your workouts but you know what I'm saying? Like we gotta learn how to bring it together some way, somehow, because we can do it. You can do it, right? But we gotta, and it takes both. The young guys gotta be receptive and understand where, you know, it ain't all just training either. You can't just think you about to train and never go and play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't that either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a mix of both. You know, but every even the kids, they gotta read and you gotta try to grow and evolve. It's same with us. No matter what you're doing in life, you'll never want to be, oh, I'm good right here. That's to me, that's silly. I would never. I'm always trying to. Even now at Curtis, I'm thinking now, what's next for us? national schedule, right? That's how I think. Well, what's next? All right, we got to get on the map first. We got to win a little bit, right? Get some of our kids known and seen. Get the city talking about us a little bit, right? That's what I'm thinking about. What's next?
I coach middle school basketball in my hometown, and one thing that I feel like is really prevalent in this era too is the parents have changed, right? Man, when I was coming up, bro, and I played for a coach that just being all the way real, you didn't have a relationship with him outside of the basketball court. It was his way or the highway.
Right.
And he didn't always do things that I agree with.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't always tell me things in the right tone or the right manner. Bro, if I went home and told my mama some of the stuff that my coach said, she'd be like, boy, shut the hell up. And if you don't want to deal with it, quit. But these days, you can't even coach certain kids hard like that because the parents are coming to the school, they're coming to their defense. And I think that's why this era is softer than when we was coming up. What's a response to that?
Yeah, I can agree to that somewhat. Um, and see, I guess, see for me, my situation is a little different because see, I came from the college side,
Mm-hmm.
right? And on the college side, G, you don't really deal with the parents that much. They're away from their parents. Now you get the AAU calls from the coaches, right? Every now and then, some parents do call, right? But there's so many things in place to where you don't call coaches about playing time, call by academic stuff. So you don't really get as much as that on the college side, right? Now on this side, I'm on the high school side now for the first time. Um, I'm a little different, but because of I look at it like kids are they all got different personalities. They
Yeah.
different. So I can't coach every kid the same.
Right.
I can't yell at every kid. Some kids get motivated differently, right? Or it's a different way to get through to some of these kids, right? So that's the hardest part about being a coach.
Figuring that out.
Yeah. And we all know basketball. Everybody be like, oh, do you know basketball? Can he coach basketball? We all know basketball. We know the game. We can coach the game, put a couple schemes together, and yeah,
It's more psychological now.
it's more can you get these kids to run through a wall for you? So if you want to sit there and M&F each kid, these days half of them kids gonna M&F you back, and you're gonna lose them.
And the parent gonna support.
And the parent goes. So again, I'm teaching my boys how to communicate, how to hold yourself accountable. Right? These are the things. So I'm not dealing with a lot of those things. I'm not dealing with a lot of those things.
Can Louisiana basketball ever get back to how it was when our era was coming in?
I think it's getting back.
Think so.
I think it has.
I
a
think
chance.
Louisiana basketball is underappreciated.
I'm about to say I think it's.
and I also think when kids get really good, they move away.
See, now see for me, I'm just getting back into it, like
Mhm.
living there. I've recruited this area, and I've had my pros and cons to recruiting this area and what I thought we needed more down here. And now that I'm in it, I see a lot of I see like I said I see guys at Landry, I see the guys at Mike at Bonnable, I see Nate what he's doing with guys at Carver and Devin Andrews. Um, St. Aug, I see what Coach G's doing with those guys. Holy Cross, Shaw got a bunch of talent. Um, I'm missing out on some schools, I'm sure, but like it's talent. I think, and I don't know if most of the schools are trying to get alma maters back to coach these to their schools. You know what I'm saying? But I see a lot of guys training and getting back to the fundamentals, and I think that's what we lost down here. And when I was recruiting down here, it was if you want a fast, athletic, quick kid, then you go down south. You go to Louisiana, right? Don't have a ton of skill, might not know the game as much, right? But tough, quick, fast, strong, athletic, right? So we got to change that stigma, my opinion. And I think, and like I said, from what I've seen on what people are doing, a lot of trainers, The guy on my staff, Brian Hammond, he is terrific, right? And he's doing it the right way. When I say teaching, as far as teaching the kids the right way, how to do things, proper footwork, and different things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy at Bonneville, I see him doing a great job. These are just the guys I see on social media, and I'm with B Dot, so I see him a lot,
Right.
you know. So, but it looks like it's back to the basics, and that's what I think we missing. We got the athleticism. We tough as nails from where we come from. You're gonna get that, right? So now we need to let's teach these guys the game of basketball. Let's stop letting them go in the gym and just go one on one and play free play, and there's no structure to it. There's no pass, screen away, see the ball. There's no help side. Like, let's have help side. Let's teach them, because when they get to college, that's what it is. You can't just deny.
Able to read a ball screen.
Yeah, read. They got to teach them the game, because you're not gonna just get to college and take the ball from everybody, or just be faster and stronger than everyone. It don't work that way. So you're going up against a guy that's just as stronger than you, probably stronger, just as quicker than you, or just as quick, is probably quicker, and he got you here. You're done.
That's a separation point.
You're done. So what I'm doing is trying to get back to that. Here, my guys, you come to my practice, you can ask them. Shell. All the way from 2-on-2 to 3-on-3 to 4-on-4. Shell. Position checks, closeouts, tracing the ball. Shell. Like one pass away in the gaps, two pass away and help. Like we back to how to get over a ball screen and get back in front. How to get through a down screen the proper way. How to get through a flare screen, where the back screen is, where the flex screen is, what stagger screens are. Like my boys, whomever get them, whatever school they go to, that's gonna be on them. Whatever system you put them in, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna know how to play the game. That's why it ain't gonna matter. System.
No doubt. Before we get out of here, man, I gotta get Biko's favorites, man. Biko's favorites.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Favorite NBA player or basketball player of all time.
Like who I think is the best that I've ever, like, or
Wow.
just who I like watching. Like try to pack my
Favorite.
game out.
Your favorite of all time. Like watching whatever. Who's Biko's favorite? That's tough.
It's tough.
Like Jordan, I feel like Jordan is the best of all
Yeah,
time.
I
But
think he's
Tracy
the best.
McGrady is
But,
my favorite player.
Gotcha. Okay. Growing up, Chauncey Billups.
No, you played like Joseph Phillips.
He was thick. He was right. He wasn't cut. He had the muscles.
Went super fast.
Wasn't fast, athletic. He wasn't gonna go dunk
Out of
on
here.
you. And he was a doll defensively. And guess what? He knew the game. He was smart. He put people in positions to be
Big
successful.
shots.
And whenever you need me, I'm gonna come through. Champ, and most importantly, champion. The champion. You can't take that away. On a team with him. That's who.
He was the MVP of the finals, huh? Against the Lakers.
I don't know if it was
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Maybe might have been him.
Yeah, I think Chauncey was the MVP of the
When
finals.
I was
2004.
middle school, high school, kind of coming up. That was him. It was him, and then there was Paul Pierce. That's who I like. And my dad and my brother, they intra ball. They can attest to that.
Favorite sneaker of all time.
Oh man, I'm a big sneaker guy. I mean, I had all the Jordans growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I was G Nikes. I had. Probably, I mean, as a youngin', I'm not into it now. I'm corny now. I kind of a little corny now. Probably Jordans. Growing up, I had my mom
Which
kept
one?
me.
Anyone? Any number?
I mean, I had my one. I had them all. I had the threes, probably one of my favorites,
Okay.
and then 11s. My mom kept me in 11s. Any patent leathers. See Christmas and any patent leathers, I hooped in those. See where I played Biddy.
How the hell you hooped in them patent leathers?
I hooped in the black and red breads.
I could not hoop in them
Biddy
J's,
All
bro.
Stars. Biddy All Stars. Me, DJ Augustine, Josh White, all on the same team. I played in the black, red, and white patent leathers with the Lundy All Stars. We would get checked out of school early, drive to Thibodeau. Still got I might have the pictures online. I gotta find it. Yeah,
That's crazy.
probably Jordan 11s.
Gotcha.
Had to pick one.
Favorite movie all time?
Oh, above the rim, or
He's out there hooping without a ball.
above the rim. As I got older, above the rim. When I was younger, White Man Can't Jump, Blue Chips. Watch those movies.
Blue Chips, man.
My brother will kill me. Every night for years, I watched Pistol Pete. For years, when he was at the white school and then when he played Carver, played the black school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every night, and Rebound. When the nigga picked the quarter of the top. That's the only that and then House Party. That's the movie. That's the only movie, and that's the only movies I watched. I used to watch. I watched them over and over and over and over. They would be like, "Dog, this I was different."
I just showed my son Blue Chips like in the summertime. Yep. He was tripped out.
Yep. Gee, I was different, man. I never watched cartoons.
Me
I couldn't tell you one cartoon.
Me either, bro. My brother was a cartoon head. I hated cartoons. I put something on with basketball or football, and I'm good.
Sports. I remember, man. I remember my dad worked at the Riverwalk. All his boys would come over and watch the Bulls versus the Jazz finals. I was in school. I had the little Tykes hoop. I'm playing on that. Again, then I had the arcade. You can shoot. I'm a firm believer, nigga. That's how I got that's how I had a nasty floater. See that little arcade?
Because you gotta be able to shoot that with one hand. Because you try to shoot it with two hands.
Gee, I had one in the house.
Repetition.
In the living room.
Repetition.
I used to try to get like 100. It used to be for 60 seconds. Gee, it was to a point where I ain't miss. I ain't even hit the backboard. And they had chain nets. That's what I do. Every morning, they knew it. My mom, dad, that's what I did.
Favorite coach of all time?
Jabbar. No debating. Easy one. That's easy because my mom, my dad, my brother never coached me. T. Howard, all of them, they all get it from him. So they gotta respect that. Jabbar. But for sure.
For those of you that are watching the podcast, you keep hearing him say Jabbar. He's talking about the running backs coach at the University of Florida, Jabbar Jaloop, man. Mm-hmm. Icon in the city.
Oh man, you can't.
Icon in the city. Favorite place to visit?
I'll be honest with you. I like Boston. I love Boston. I love the cold. I love the snow. I love. It's weird. Different. I love that they have all the seasons. The leaves change. It's cold. The trees can be white, snow white because of the snow. They're gonna be bright orange, red because of when the fall. It's hot as hell during the summer. It's nice. Water, you're on the water. They got good seafood. I'm a pescatarian, so all the seafood is fresh. It's clean. You close to New York. You close to major airport city. They got all the sports teams, the Celtics, the Bruins.
You know you got a Boston accent now.
I like Boston. I like Boston. And maybe because
you got a deep Boston accent.
I love Houston. I like Denver's a cool place. I like to visit Denver as well. But when I get some free time, man, I like Boston. I like it.
Favorite comedian all time?
I was never really big into comedians like that.
For real?
Yeah.
No Chris Tucker, no.
I mean, I watched Friday. Yeah.
Dave Chappelle.
Never. I thought he was corny.
No Bernie Mac.
The Dave Chappelle show I thought that's just me. I just wasn't a fan. I'm watching the Bernie Mac show now. I like Bernie Mac. Kevin Hart, I guess he's cool. But I wasn't really a big see stand-up comedians and all that.
Mm-hmm. Toughest player you ever went against?
Monte Ellis, Tyrese Rice.
Monte Ellis averaged 40 a game in high school.
Monte Ellis gave us 50 for 4 straight summers. And I'm not joking. That's not edited. That's not a joke. He not paying me to say that. I don't know him personally. He was the one guy in Mississippi. He had billboards when I used to go to Mississippi and play. He had people selling his T-shirts outside the games. AAU, he was the first kid that had kids running up to him for autographs. He was the first kid that like went by and dunked on my whole team and gave us 60
And he was like the
consecutively.
first. He was like the first guy to come out of high school.
He was the
to
first
go to
one.
the,
Supposed to
go
go
to
to
the
Mississippi
NBA that was
State.
like undersized.
Supposed to go to Mississippi State. He
Yeah,
he
the
was
Lanier High School.
Lanier High School.
Bro, he averaged 40 a game, 45 a game
It was like a big thing.
in 32-minute quarters, 32-minute games.
I played for the Jackson Panthers. He played for the Magnolia All Stars. We were the best two. We were the best two teams out of Mississippi, AU programs, and it was always like a thing, a showcase game every summer, right? We will we will go at it though.
I thought for sure you was gonna say
Sometimes we would win, sometimes they would win, but he was always the best one out there. He was older than me too, but head up, him, Tyrese Rice,
I thought for sure
DJ
you was
Augustine was good when I was young in the city.
mm-hmm.
It was DJ. That was the kid that I had to beat. I had to chase. He was like, that's who kept me on my toes.
I thought for sure you was gonna say somebody from North Carolina or Duke.
Uh Tyrese torched them. Tyrese had 46 on them.
Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah,
NBC.
yeah.
He. Now don't get me wrong. Ty Lawson, Nolan Smith, they was good. They were good. Ty was good. That was good. He wasn't no Reese, but he was good. Wasn't no Tyrese.
Ty got from rim to rim, probably the fastest I ever seen in college basketball.
We used to be playing.
Out of him and TJ Ford.
We used to be playing pickup, and I ain't gonna say their names. We all boys, but it got to the point where some of the other guys. I'm going against Reese in pickup. I'm holding on for dear life, trying to stop them, trying to keep my team right, and I'm working at it. I'm trying my ass off. But the guys on my team, right? They won't talk trash to them, right? That's pickup. I always had a voice, because I never really talked a lot, and I never talked for myself. I always talked to try for the betterment of the team,
Right.
Never for me. It's for whatever, because I was a point guard. I was get everybody involved, type of guy. But whenever they would talk, right? He killed me. I'm guarding. So he run off all 15 on me. He run off all 11 if we go to 11 on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, y'all scoring on y'all. And I might score, but it was like, he was like that. Like, if he wanted to, and dog, I could guard back. Like, I could,
Right.
like, so it's the point, I'm like, dog, stop. Don't tell him nothing.
Y'all turning him up.
He was like that, bro. And then Reggie was different too. But Reggie was 6'4", long, athletic, just smooth, silky pull-ups. Tyrese will put you in a blender. Boop, 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 boop. And like you would be and he stepped back at the three, like with the ball like this, like waiting on you. And then shoot it. Like he was like that. Like all that stuff, like shooting it and turning, and he was doing all that. Just that it was no social media. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
Like, magnified back then.
It wasn't really like that.
Yeah.
If he was turning to their era, oh my gosh. Oh man. He in the TBT, he was playing in that, but he tore that up first couple years and won that. And but if he was in his prime right now with social media, it would be night. But yeah, those guys, Monte Ellis, Tyrese Rice, probably Reggie. Like going up against Jeff Teague was good.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stories, man. But yeah, some of the guys.
Yeah. You been seeing some of the podcasts he been doing lately, bro? He
is hilarious.
He has been spilling everything.
He is hilarious, and the way his story
he was funny like this.
Hilarious. Yeah.
God damn.
And you saw when they asked. You saw I seen a lot of his, but you saw the one when they asked Iman Shumpert. Who was his toughest guard?
Yeah.
You heard what he said?
Yep.
He's right.
Yep.
I ain't gonna just look. I didn't play against them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't sit down.
He was at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I didn't say. And we listen. He was my year. He was. We played against each other. We played him. I probably played him 8 times. We go up ahead twice a year.
Yeah.
He might have been my year or a year younger than me.
I remember what
He was so good.
I remember when got Shumpert on the map when they upset at Duke.
He was so good.
And he had like 36, 12 rebounds.
That's how he was. He stat filler.
9 assists. That's what got him skyrocketed on the draft board when they upset it.
And the same body he got now, he had in college. He was like
6'4", 6'5",
and strong and won't hit you. He had it. Could pass, could shoot it, and he was on a team where like they let him rock out to where like they wasn't great, but they wasn't sad. He wasn't gonna just go in there and beat him. That's Paul Hewitt. Yeah. That's Paul Hewitt. Yeah. Yep.
Man, I really enjoyed this podcast, bro.
Yep.
You know, that's why I wanted to get you on here, man. I know you had a hell of a story.
For sure.
And I know the viewers thoroughly enjoy, you know, some of the gems that you dropped today, man. Like I say this all the time. You know, we want to entertain on FanvVew, man, but we also like to inform and educate.
For sure. That's what it's
because you never know who's going to listen to this and going to be able to take something that you said and share with their son or their nephew or whoever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what this podcast is all about, man. Man, I'm rooting for you, man. Going back to your old high school, John Curtis. I can't wait to come cover some games.
For sure,
man.
Absolutely.
Come check that bad boy out on trail.
Oh yeah.
Night.
They gonna get down.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now. I let them rock.
Yeah.
I'm that type of coach. We gonna play fast.
Yeah.
Up and down. We gonna press. We gonna trap.
Yeah.
And when we get that thing, we going.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an exciting brand. Bring your kids.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. Definitely got to get you back on too,
for sure,
in the near future, man. We got to get our trail on here one day, man.
Man, we can do it. Let's bring it.
And GT, man, we got to get GT on here.
Man, listen, we can do it. We can set it up. We can have a FanvVew JC takeover, man. We can do it, man. We can do
it. Definitely, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the FanvVew Instagram page, FanvVew Twitter page, the TikTok page, and absolutely do not forget to subscribe to the G-Sport page.
Sure.
You know, I'm at 22.9 thousand subscribers, man. I'm trying to get to 25K by 2024. Y'all help a brother out, man. This G-Sportz, man. I'm signing out.
It's that boy Fred, host of FanvVew Podcast. Tune into the NOTN app, weekdays, 3:30 for the FanvVew Podcast. Go to NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com to watch more episodes of FanvVew Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch.
Step Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Step Construction can provide you with a custom shed that will fit your budget and storage needs. So contact Step Construction today at 504-340-5809 for your own personal quote. Let us help you take the next step at Step Construction.